Okay, as in the past, I've set out to build a 450 T-Rex compatible helicopter for roughly $150 or so, no more than 200. Electronics have been a big issue, and good electronics cost good money. Now, what I can tell you is this is an EXI helicopter. You've already seen my reviews. They fly great. I got rid of my T-Rex 450. This flies just as well. You cannot tell a difference. You put the frames next to each other, they're the same. So, we move on. Gyros. Spartan Quark. Beautiful gyro. Love it to death. Does a great job. The average Joe, honestly, can't afford $160 gyros. So, Hobby King sells 2 gyros, one being a GA 250, that's Gulf Alpha 250. It's $9.95, I think, $10 basically. It does a great job. If you are a beginner, a sport flyer, very mild 3D, it's a beautiful gyro for $10. You'll get one, buy 3. I mean, for $30, you got 3. You got backups. If you build another helicopter, you have one to go in it. I have one. I've test flown it. It flies great. You cannot complain about it. It has little or no drift depending on your servo and your configuration with your gains. As far as, tail wag, I really don't get none. When you're pirouetting and you stop, sometimes you get a little bit of bounce in that. Now, for the average person, a little bit of bounce is no big deal. Hardcore 3D, you don't want it. I was on Hobby King's site getting ready to order 4 more 250s just to build some helicopters for a few guys that just fly around. And I found this. It's Turnigy MEMS. It's Mini Mems. It's actually a rebranded gyro from SJDG, I believe. They go for $160, about the same price as a Spartan Quark. It's actually a great gyro. There it is right there, and it does say Turnigy MEMS on it. It's just a rebranded gyro from another company. It does a great job. It comes with the MEMS gyro. It comes with a double-sided mounting tape, a metal bracket if you're running a nitro helicopter, and to program it, where Spartan uses the USB programmer you hook to the computer, this one uses a standalone programming box to program it. You do not do stick programming at all with this gyro. When you hook this up, it comes up, displays everything on the screen. You set your settings using these keys. And when you're done, you unplug it, you plug it back into your servo leads, and you fly this thing. I did some really hard push outs, pirouetting, inverted stuff. I mean, everything I threw at it, the tail stayed rock solid. You couldn't beat it. I would put it into like a 360 spin. Well, technically it wouldn't be a 360 if you spin twice over a 720 spin. And as soon as I let go of the stick, it snapped to stop. I mean, it just stopped. There was no, bounce, nothing. It stopped dead on the money. For guys that want that kind of performance, this gyro cost $69.95 from Hobby King, and it does a wonderful job. If you are on a budget, I wouldn't go with the GY48. I would get the GA250. I like it better. It's smaller. It does a better job. If you can afford the $70, but you really can't afford $120, $160 to go with Futaba or Spartan, this is it. This is better than a 401 Futaba by far. I think this is as good as a Spartan Quark as far as, good 3D. I haven't done no major 3D on it yet. I would love to get a camera guy and do some flying and show you all, but unfortunately, it's just me, and I'm doing this off of my phone just to give you all an idea of what you get for your money. I mean, my opinion is just like everybody else's. Everyone has one. I can tell you that I don't have to buy cheap. I can buy whatever I want. I just choose to try to do this on a budget to help other people so they're not wasting their money. I mean, that's just what it's about. I know there's a lot of people out there that cannot afford to spend a lot of money, and when they buy something, if it's not right, they're stuck with it. I'm trying to keep that from happening for those that are like that. I know, I'm just being overly nice, I guess. But, I mean, this is a really nice gyro. If you actually want to go to Hobby King's site and look it up, it's just called a Turnigy Mini Mems. And it does a wonderful job. A few people have said a few negative things on there. A lot of people have said great things about it. What I have found after talking with the people that have been negative about it, other than one or two people having a defective programming box when they get it, most of the problems were in their servo setup. I did post a little post on my YouTube about proper setup of a digital tail servo. And I'll go over this again. A lot of people on these digital tail servos are taking their horn and they're putting this ball link all the way out on the very end of the horn, furthest away from the servo. You do not want to do that. I cannot stress this enough. You're going to get bounce in your tail. You're going to get wag. You don't want that. Go in close to the servo. I run the second hole out from the end of the horn closest to the servo. And my tail is dead rock solid. I don't have any trouble. The further out you get, the less throw you have, because the more it moves, when it moves this further because it's further out on the horn. But that cuts down on the resolution of this, because this wants to make fine movement to do all your adjusting. That's what your gyro does. These MEMS gyros do it in real fine resolution. That's why you're looking at things that have, a 520 rate with 330 hertz refresh. It does it in fine steps. When you get all the way out on it, each one of them steps is a lot more movement. When I say a lot, we're talking tenths of a millimeter. But further out, the more movement. Further in, the less movement per step. And you want less movement per step, so the gyro has to travel more, but it's more precise. So if you set your tail servo up and brought it out on the end of the horn thinking, hey, I'm going to get faster travel, you'll get faster travel. You just lost all your resolution and you're killing your tail. So I'm going to put about another dozen flights on this gyro, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. But I mean, for what this gyro cost, I can buy 2 of these compared to one Spartan and still have a lot of change in my pocket for whatever else I want. So you all have a good day.